In Norway, landscape and nature, everything is perfect. Mountains, forest, fjords, beautiful. I've been at sea for 40 years and almost 20 years working for Torghatten.
Vi är passagerare.
The sea and the water is who I am. Ferries connect communities. We get people to school, work and hospitals. We get goods to where they need to be. When I started my career, ferries were running on diesel. We know from the experts that fossil fuel has an impact on the environment. We have to find an alternative. Torghatten started their electrification journey around 2017 with hybrid ferries. Today it's possible to run fully electric on this route. We have the capacity of 120 cars and 399 passengers. Sailing time is 60 minutes, and then we charge for 15 minutes before departure. The electricity that we are using is coming from the national grid. Most of the electricity that we use comes from hydropower, which is renewable. It's only been 3 months, but I really like it. Running smooth, fresh air. It's more peaceful.
My passion from ship and ship design basically comes from my family. All my life, I've been in and on boats. Growing up along the Norwegian coastline, if you look at sea mammals, whales, they have a hydrodynamic shape that lets water flow around their body. I soon realized we should do something different when designing ships. Most people might not realize that shipping is a big part of our lives. Once you buy something online, it probably gets shipped from somewhere to your door. We also get energy, we also get goods and food, but there's an environmental cost in that picture. So we need to do something such as developing technology that lowers the environmental footprint as much as possible. In this region, we have this massive maritime cluster developing all kinds of equipment for ships and boats. So everywhere we go, people come with input, they bring ideas, and we develop together. And that's the strength of being where we are. A traditional hull with a forward flare, it acts typically like a snowplow, so it tries to push water away, using excessive energy to do that. Whereas the X-bow has a more forgiving hull shape, sloping backwards, so that actually you now split the wave energy. You go through the waves rather than pushing the water away. So the X-bow, in essence, use less power, hence consume less fuel. And in that respect, it reduces a part of the environmental impact. I think being Norwegian helped when designing the X-bow and developing maritime technology in general, because I think Norwegians are very deeply rooted and interconnected with maritime innovation. I think when the technology here works for the Norwegian waters, I think most of them will also work in international waters. Collaboration is massively important. We need a multidisciplinary approach. And being a part of a maritime cluster that we can both inspire, we can compete, and we can also challenge is the key element.
I think there's a lot of innovation in the maritime industry in Norway. There's a lot of cooperation between the ones that are operating the ships to the ones that are building the ships to the technology developers. But the cruise industry needs to admit that we haven't been the best in class when it comes to sustainability. And that's something we really need to together work on improving. Hurtigruten has been sailing on the Norwegian coast for more than 130 years. And obviously we would like to sail for another 130 years. But in order to do so and to preserve the environment and the coast of Norway, we need to improve on our sustainability. Hurtigruten is currently working on a project we named Sea Zero. We want to have a ship that in operation has a carbon neutral footprint. Currently we are in the research and development phase. We built a model that's about 8 meters long. We're testing it for how it operates in certain weather conditions and see how efficient it is from a hull design point of view with reducing the energy consumption. We had several working groups working on the different parts of the project, being propulsion, hotel operation, hull design, and batteries. One of the innovations that is my favorite is the sails. I think it's fantastic that we can start using technology today that was used 100 years or more ago and make it modern again. The sails will be covered with solar panels. And when we did all these various tests, we see that we are looking at the energy efficiency of 40 to 50% versus our current ships. That means you need a lot less energy to operate the ship, which makes these new energy sources like batteries a lot more feasible. As with every project, the C0 project also has challenges. First and foremost, we need to make sure that everything we do, everything we put on that ship is safe. Building a ship with this technology is going to be expensive, and the infrastructure on land, we need to have the charging power and the charging stations available. And if that happens, then the aim is to be able to build the ship by 2030 with the technologies that we have come up with through the project. We are known for our maritime industry, are known for quality of our product, and that makes me proud.